Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining this morning. I'm going to provide a brief overview. I'll tell you who I am, what this is about, and then I'm going to turn it over to our friends from KGA so that you can learn more about what is an EAP program. So some quick background. Around the turn of the year, the Charitable Foundation began really listening to organizations serving vulnerable communities who were sharing some concerning trends that they were seeing, both for the folks that they work with and for the organizations that they worked for. And there were some pressing challenges identified as we grew and started to hear from folks about what did changes in the political landscape and how does that impact organizations and nonprofits in New Hampshire. And there were four themes that emerged from that. Two of them were actually about staffing challenges, both from a management and capacity perspective, as organizations, a common refrain, nonprofit organizations seeing an increase in demand for service with either decreased or the same amount of staffing that folks have always had. And that puts stress both on the people who are doing the work and also folks who are performance managers and managing that work. One of the other themes we heard was about really the growing need for mental health supports. And this is certainly true for organizations that work directly with people and have clients, but it was also a growing trend for nonprofit staff members who were navigating new landscapes. So we began to think about, okay, the Charitable Foundation we provide grants. By the way, my name's Simon. I'm the Vice President of Community Engagement and Impact at the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation. I didn't introduce myself, so do that out of order. And I'll quickly come back to, what can the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation do about that? And we talked with the Center for Nonprofits, and not surprisingly, that was a theme that the center was hearing as well. And the center focuses on providing support to their members and the sector at large. The Charitable Foundation works on providing support to a wide range of grantees with financial support. And we said this is a time where maybe we can come together and look to provide something that's not just financial support. And one of the things that came up as an idea was the possibility of providing employee assistance program to address some of those challenges that we heard to nonprofits that don't have access to this service. And some of you may be wondering, what is an employee assistance program? Because when I joined the Charitable Foundation, I had that same question. And I got to learn a lot in the last year, because about a year ago, the Charitable Foundation brought on KGA as a resource for New Hampshire Charitable Foundation employees. And it's been something that's actually been useful to me personally. And so whether that is confidential mental health supports, whether that's guidance for performance managers going through a difficult situation, whether that's help finding a childcare provider or an employee who needs access to a lawyer for, I don't know, thinking about a will or dealing with an issue that has come up. Megan and Nicole are going to tell you all about the services that are offered through this. And I want to talk just quickly about what we're hoping to do. We, the Center and the Charitable Foundation, are really hoping to provide a service that is useful to nonprofits and their staff. And this is really just that. It's a trial, it's a pilot. We said, let's get this off the ground as quickly as we can. And thanks to KGA willing to think about ways that they could get this off the ground. They are not used to working with lots of small organizations. And we want this to be a service that is useful to staff, that is useful to nonprofits, and that over time can be a resource that's provided. So we're giving it a try for a little bit period of time. We're asking folks who sign up and are interested to be a little bit of guinea pigs with us to say, is this something that employees will use? Is this something that addresses some of those concerns that staff and managers have been raising as issues that they're seeing? And that's where we are. So you're going to hear more about this service, who's eligible, who can sign up, but I hope that y'all join us in being open to just understanding, let's give this a try. Hopefully it's useful, and we want to hear your feedback as it goes. I can't thank the Center for Nonprofits enough. Kelly and Angelica, who are here on the call today from the center, Kathleen, who's on vacation and couldn't join us today, just for their willingness to step in and say, we think this is important, we're willing to take this on, we're willing to manage it. And also a big thank you to Nicole, Megan, and KGA, who were willing to try something new with us to say, all right, we know you're seeing this need. We want to be helpful to New Hampshire communities and nonprofits as well. So let's give this a try and see if it works on our end. So we're going to have time for questions, but I'm going to turn it over to Megan from KGA so you can learn a little bit more about what this service is and what it offers.
Great. Thank you so much, Simon. As Simon shared, my name is Megan Peavy, and I work at KGA. I'm in business development here, and I am joined by my colleague, Nicole Sawitz, who is an account manager here and will be the dedicated account manager for the center. So we're going to go through a presentation today talking about what KGA is. I saw that question come in, so we are going to inform you what's available to you all if you opt into this program, and who else is eligible. So we'll get into all of that. We will end our presentation today with a brief tour of our KGA Life Services platform, which is our website. And we do have within this PowerPoint the demo account access. So after this presentation is completed today, we are going to send this deck to Kelly, who will distribute it accordingly. And you'll have that information so that you can kind of poke around as a demo account on our platform. So let me share my screen and get to the presentation here. So just a quick overview. These are the things that we're going to be touching on today. So the things that KGA offers support around, of course, is that emotional and mental health support. We also offer assistance with family, home, and work, which we'll get into a little bit more in detail. But as Simon shared, an example of that is help locating a childcare provider. We also offer well-being services and, of course, support for managers and supervisors. Some basic things for you all to know about KGA, and these are really big takeaways from today's presentation, is that we are available not only to the employee, but to adult household members as well. So anybody that's over the age of 18 that's living with you has access to our services. This also does extend to collegiate-aged children. So I live in New Hampshire myself, so New Hampshire has a very special place in my heart. Let's say you have an employee whose 19-year-old is at UNH. They can call KGA independently as well, completely confidentially, which takes me to my next point. All of our services here are confidential unless someone's safety were to be a concern, of course. We are available 24/7, so although Nicole and I are not going to be working on the 4th of July, sorry to say, we do have an answering service that picks up the phone when we are not available in the office for holidays, weekends, after hours, etc. They do answer the call saying, "This is KGA, I'm a counselor," so there's no confusion. And then one of our internal KGA staff members will follow up during the next business day. We offer live support, so that phone number, you can pick up the phone, call us at any time and speak to a live person completely free. or we also have digital access. So we're going to cover that in a little bit. Of course, not everybody's comfortable picking up the phone. So we make access easy for everyone. We also do pride ourselves on the speed and alignment of support. We make a match. So we're going to get into what that exactly means. But right now, on average, it takes us about 1.2 days to connect employees with a counselor in their community. And of course, as I've mentioned, this is a free service, so no cost to you. And just some background on KGA, we are a completely independent provider. So we provide employee assistance, and that again covers anything emotional and mental health, but also anything that happens in your work-life balance life, so that childcare, legal, etc. We primarily sell to New England, so the majority of our client organizations are New England based, and we do, however, service all of the country. So we have employees that we serve in, or organizations, I should say, in New England and Canada. And right now, currently, we have about 375 clients. So the first thing we're going to touch on here is emotional and mental health support. And something that we offer as well, which is so important to note, is that when we have an organization that partners with us, one of the benefits are free overviews. So kind of what we're going through right now. We provide these to employees, to managers, and these are free, unlimited when provided virtually. So Nicole, for example, would be able to come to meetings. She would come to if you had a lunch and learn or something like that, and walk people through this. She'd walk your employees through what they have access to. So you might see these slides again if you opt in. So for the counseling support, as I mentioned, we have that in the moment support. You have an employee who's driving to work, they're having a panic attack. They can pick up the phone and call KGA. They can talk to a counselor immediately who will help coach them through that situation. That in the moment support, again, is unlimited. This is not something where the counseling sessions go against. This is always available. As I mentioned, the word sessions. This might be kind of a new concept if you're new to the EAP world. But basically, the center has purchased a program through KGA that offers 3 free counseling sessions per issue to all employees and their adult household members. So if you reach out to KGA and you have, just a situation that you're looking for some support around, that might be resolved in 3 sessions or less, we do have our KGA counselors that make up an internal counseling center that would be able to work with you through that issue. Now, let's say that our counselors are actually working with you and determine that you might need something a little more clinically longer term. So, not just the 3 sessions. We assess those needs and we help you determine what next steps your employees would need to take. So people can pick up the phone and call us and not know what they need. We're here to help them determine that. So if they do need something that is more of a longer term approach. So someone who, yes, is having bouts of panic, but has always struggled with anxiety and might benefit from a longer term relationship with a counselor, we make that match. So when I said on the previous slide, we pride ourselves on that alignment. We want your employees to be matched with someone who makes them feel the most comfortable in counseling so that they get the most out of it. So we might have someone reach out to us who says, I'm looking for counseling. I have anxiety. This is my insurance. I'm looking for an LGBTQ allied clinician who's a person of color and speaks Spanish. We will do that search. We have an internal, or not, I'm sorry, not internal. We have an affiliated clinician network, I should say. And we have clinicians in New Hampshire. So we would make those outreach attempts to those clinicians and make that match for that individual. If we didn't have someone in our system who met all those needs, we would recruit someone who did. So we make that match so that people feel comfortable in counseling. And if you do have employees who don't have insurance, that's okay too. We have those 3 free sessions per issue. So again, if you reach out for grief support and then 6 months later you reach out for couples counseling, 3 sessions each time. But we also have partnerships with Talkspace and BetterHelp where people can use their sessions through, but they can also continue on afterwards at a more affordable option. Otherwise, if you do have an insurance, we match you with a clinician who takes that insurance so that treatment can continue post sessions truly affordable through that copay. So that's very important to us. And one of the takeaways from today is at no point in time are you or your employees searching for anyone with availability. That's what we're doing. And we actually have a counselor that has availability contact your employee within 1.2 days to offer that appointment. And another thing here is we normalize mental health. As my coworker once shared at a seminar, if you have a brain, you have mental health. So we are here to normalize that and break that stigma. Another offering that we have is peer support. So your employees, their adult household members would have access to 10 free groups within these groups. So our partnership with Hey Peers is a virtual peer support based offering. And these can be mixed and matched. You can pick 10 of the same ones, and a really great benefit. They are peer certified peer specialist led, and that certified peer specialist is supervised by a licensed clinician. But this is a great resource for people who might not quite be ready for counseling support, or they want something in addition to. Again, it's peer to peer, so other peers that are going through similar situations. And then, of course, we do have the digital self-directed tools. So we do have our KGA Life Services platform, which we'll take you out to in a little bit. But this, again, not everybody wants to pick up the phone and talk to a counselor. Not everybody wants counseling support. Some people want to do this on their own. And this is what we have access to. We have self-assessment. So people can go online and do a self-assessment to see if they might be at risk for adult ADHD or postpartum depression. People can go on and also get an access token to download this app, MindTide, which is a digital cognitive behavioral therapy app. Again, completely free. I'll show you that on the next slide. But we also offer a My Mindfulness Challenge. We offer monthly wellness webinars, typically that have to do with whatever's trending that month. So for example, August, we usually do one on back to school for kids. That is, of course, geared towards the adults. Something else to just keep in mind as I'm talking about children here. Although a child cannot pick up the phone and call us, I always joke my 6-year-old, she can't pick up the phone and call KGA because she wouldn't talk about anything other than ponies and gymnastics. So what we do offer, though, is parents and guardians can reach out to us looking for support for their minors. They wouldn't use their EAP sessions. We would help locate resources through insurance, or if there's not insurance, we can help locate resources that have an attainable sliding scale offering. So that's something to just keep in mind. And again, we're doing all those outbound calls to assure that there's availability, that this person can service that age group, and that they take your insurance if you have it. So keep that in mind. But back to the digital self-directed tools, we also do have a mental health library on our platform. We have books that are on there that our content committee constantly is reviewing and adding and taking away. And then we, of course, highlight life milestones and challenges as well. This is the MindTide app. Again, this is free. There's an access token on the platform. If you opt in and you create yourself as a user, you will be able to access that. We'll show you where it lives. But this has deep breathing exercises. It has body scanning techniques, psychoeducation, and also the option of communicating with a counselor. So I say counselor in quotes here because they are curated responses from a licensed clinician. It is not AI, but it's not a live person on here. The responses just kind of filter through what your need is. So it's kind of like having a therapist in your back pocket. So I am going to open up and see if there's any questions related to mental health support, because we are going to switch gears here to what we consider family, home, and work. So please feel free to chat or just ask away if there's any questions. All right. If anything changes, please feel free to put something in the chat. Looks like something did just pop in. Legal issues. Yes, we are going to get into that right now. No worries. So I'm going to pass the baton over to Nicole, who is going to highlight our family, home, and work solutions now.
Thanks so much, Megan. Hi, everyone. My name is Nicole Stallwitz. I am an account manager here at KGA, and I will be the account manager for the center. So I will be working with some of you if you opt into the program to help promote this program to your employees and your managers. So I'm here to talk to you today about family, home, and work solutions. So often when people think of employee assistance programs, they often think of mental health, or they might not think of anything at all. But we're here to educate you on what an employee assistance program can do. Megan talked about the mental health aspect, and I'm going to talk about the family, home, and work solutions. So this is really your backup for your everyday life. We're here to support your needs, things that might come up during your employee's workday that they just do not have time to get to, and we can help take that off their plate. So you can see that assistance with parenting and childcare, elder care, legal issues, financial issues, daily convenience, health, and nutrition. So it's a lot of different areas that we can assist with, and we will go through each one of those one by one. So we can connect people with subject matter experts for a free 30-minute phone consultation, and that is on a per issue basis. So if you were to call into us today and you're looking for some childcare resources, you need to find summer camp because you need childcare during the summer. A little late, but we can certainly help. And then maybe in 6 months, you are dealing with some budgeting issues and you want to talk to someone about putting together a budget. Again, you would have a free 30-minute phone consultation for that financial issue, in addition to the 30-minute consultation for the childcare issue, because those are different issues. So it's on a per issue basis. It's not a one and done. It's not a use it or lose it kind of thing. We're going to provide customized research on your behalf based on your particular circumstances or your employees' particular circumstances. And we're going to find vetted referrals. We are going to put together a list for them, referrals that can help them with their particular issue and their particular circumstances. So we'll go through each one of these here. We're going to start with our caregiver support. So you can see here, when it comes to caregiver, we kind of divide it into two different categories, parenting and elder care. And we like to pay special attention to those employees that are experiencing what we call the sandwich generation. So these are employees that are really being pulled from both sides. They have young children or adolescent children that they're raising, but they might have elder loved ones that they're also helping to take care of. So they're really being pulled at from all different angles. Of course, if you're if you're just dealing with parenting issues or you're just dealing with elder care issues, we will help as well. But we like to make sure that that sandwich generation really feels supported. So you can see some examples of parenting challenges and childcare needs that we can help with, everything from summer care, childcare solutions, summer camps, after school care, teen years, special needs, adoption, and parent coaching. So we're really here to help parents from all different aspects. So some of the experts that we can work with and connect you with or your employees with are early childhood development consultants, fertility coach, parent coach, special education consultant. And when an employee reaches out to us for support, we don't expect that they know which expert is going to be a good fit for them. That's why our counselors do the intake, talk with them, assess their particular situation to figure out who would be the best expert to connect them with. We do that for them. And then on the elder care side of things, we can assist with elder care issues such as in-home assistance, assisted living facilities, and skilled nursing homes. So we have elder care specialists available right on staff to help assess your particular needs or your employees' particular needs to care for their aging loved one. I should mention here that the loved one does not need to live with the employee. So if you have an employee who has a mother or a father who is maybe looking to transition to assisted living facility, that elder person does not need to live with the employee. They don't even need to live in the same state. So if you have an employee who lives in New Hampshire and their parent lives out in California and they need resources to support their parent out in California, we can help provide that. we can help do a national search and find the resources available in their particular area. So any questions about the elder care, child care, caregiver support in general?
I just wanted to add to what Nicole was sharing, that for things like childcare and summer camps and everything, we do make those outbound calls. So when we are providing a list to your employees, your members, those resources have been contacted. We ask for things like hours of operation. We ask for rates. We ask for if there's a registration fee, things like that, so that we can really get those resources to your employees without them having to worry that they're going to hit a dead end. So we do all of that research on the back end. And okay, just checking the chat there. And then same thing with elder care. We're making those outbound calls. And for childcare, we use the licensed education childcare website for your state or the state that that individual is looking in, as we do want to make sure that we're calling licensed centers. And the only caveat with the 30-minute consultation per issue is the parent coach. So I have a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old. I've used the parent coach. And if I have other parents on this call, I think we can collectively agree that talking to a parent coach for one free 30-minute consultation is not going to be substantial enough to resolve an issue. So the parent coach will actually meet with your employees virtually for their 3-session model. So they would actually have 3 50-minute sessions available to them.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Just so there's one 30-minute consultation, but it sounds like you're gathering information, or the person would be gathering information in that call, and then would they send it back by email, or do you like how's the follow-up?
Yeah, so when it comes to the free 30-minute consultation, the consultations are really with the experts. So if you were reaching out again on this slide for legal support, it's one free 30-minute consultation per issue. First, what individuals have to do is contact KGA and speak with one of our staff members. As Nicole was sharing, they're going to help them determine what specialist might be appropriate for them, and they make that referral to them. So when research is being completed, we gather all the information. So for childcare, for example, we ask, when are you looking for childcare? Where are you looking, which zip codes, and we gather all that information, and that phone call can be 10 minutes, it can be an hour. That's with one of our KGA staff members. And then we do that research where we're making those outbound calls. And once we get resources that have availability, typically what we do when it's something urgent like childcare, we all know there's a childcare epidemic going on. What we do is we send those to the employee typically via email immediately so that they can get in touch with them, schedule a tour, and get the ball rolling. Typically, we provide about 3 to 5 resources per concern or need that meets their needs within a week or so. So we also do, which we're going to show you, there is a feature on our platform called My Dashboard, and we upload the research there as well. So employees have it in a consolidated place that they can continue to check on. Yes, we do. We absolutely vet all of our elder care and child care resources. That's why we're doing the outbound calls. And again, that's why we use what's called the EEC for childcare, the Early Education Childcare website. Oftentimes we do have people that reach out to us and share, oh, well, I saw the little Red Barn schoolhouse down the road. Can you call them? And we might say, we're not going to call them because they're not a licensed center. We can, but I'm giving you this disclaimer that they're not licensed. They're not on the website that we use. So we do make those outbound calls. We look at reviews. We look at the website. We give the people, the employees, a contact person, all of that information. No, we do not go to the facility. That's not something that we can do, again, because we have a lot of people who reach out to us and are looking for facilities in Arizona and Florida. And as much as I would love to go down there and take a look, we do not physically go in and take a look. What we do is we provide information with our elder care consultant. We have those consultations so they can help the loved one determine what to look for, what are red flags, what are questions to be asking when you're going on a tour at these centers. We have that for childcare, we have that for elder care. What we also do is we have some tip sheets that we can send to people on information on these resources. And then we also, like I mentioned, gather information on when these tours are provided so that that loved one can actually go there and take a tour and see what's the right fit. What's a good fit for me, what seems right for me, might not seem right for somebody else. So we really cannot make that decision for them. We just help aid the search by providing references that we have done our due diligence to check on. All right, Nicole, I'm going to pass it back to you for legal and
Yeah,
financial.
no, thank you, Megan, and thank you for the great questions. Keep them coming. So now we're gonna shift gears and talk about legal and financial services. So we can connect your employees with a legal consultation with a with an attorney. And again, that can be a national network of attorneys. It doesn't need to be someone in New Hampshire. If you're dealing with an issue across the country, we can connect you with a national network of attorneys. So you can see some examples of the different legal issues we can assist with: divorce and child custody support, estate planning, landlord-tenant disputes, wills and trusts. So if you're looking to put together a will, get that ball rolling, we can give you that free 30-minute phone consultation to work with an attorney in your state or the state you're looking to plan for. And then if you wanted to move forward with the attorney after that free 30-minute phone consultation, we can offer a 25% discount. Now, we can't promise that's the least expensive attorney out there, but we do offer that discount so that your employees can work with the attorney directly afterwards, after that consultation. And then on the financial side of things, we have financial experts that we can connect you with to help with things like budgeting, debt management, home buying information, retirement planning, tax planning. So the certified financial planners, certified public accountants, and certified counselors. And again, we don't expect you to know or your employees to know who they need to connect with. Maybe they're struggling to put together a budget, get out a credit card debt. Maybe they're looking to buy their first home, or start planning for retirement, that next step. We can connect them with an expert to help with all those different aspects of their life. Those things that might be bogging them down during their workday because they're really concerned about their money, and they're concerned about their next steps. That's where we come into play, to help connect them with an expert, to help ease their mind and help them figure out their next best steps for their particular situation. I'm just looking at the chat here. Okay. Yes, if an employee works remotely outside of New Hampshire, as far as KGA concerned, that is not a problem. They can use KGA services. We have plenty of employers that have remote workers that promote our services and call into us from all over the country. So when it comes to work services, we are here to assist you with, or your employees, with work-related stress, work-family integration, and career advancement. Now, we will never help an employee leave their current employment situation. That is never our goal, but maybe they're looking to go for a promotion or a lateral move. We can help prepare them for that, help them put together their resume, help them prepare for an interview, and brush up on those kind of skills. And like we mentioned before, these services are available to their adult household members as well. So maybe your employee has a partner or a spouse who they live with and is between jobs and wants to work with a career coach to help find their next opportunity. We can connect them with that career coach for that free 30-minute phone consultation to review things like interviewing skills, job performance concerns, resume review, work-life integration, and work stress. So that's what we're here to support: their work-life needs. We're really going to make sure that they feel balanced in their work and that they're going to have support they need to do their job well. And then our home services, or what we call our convenience services. We like to say that we are better than a Google search because we're going to actually take in your information. We're going to vet the resources. So we're going to ask you if you're looking for a daycare facility. Like Megan said, we're going to ask you what days you're looking for, what time, where you're looking, your budget, and we're going to put together a vetted list of resources based on your particular criteria and your particular circumstances. And this isn't just for it's not just for childcare. It also can be used for apartment and housing resources. Maybe you're looking to move, you're looking for a mover. We can put together resources for that. You're looking for a new primary care doctor, or your employee is looking for a new primary care doctor. Oftentimes it can be really hard to find a doctor with an opening on their panel, especially in primary care. So we can do that research on their behalf, find someone who takes their insurance and has an opening. So we're doing that legwork on their behalf. Home improvement and maintenance needs. Maybe you're looking for something like a plumber or a house cleaner. Now, we're not going to pay for those services, but we will put together the list of vetted resources for you or for your employee so that they don't have to do that on their own time, and they can just move on. They can take the resources that we provide them and move forward from there. And then even pet care or pet sitters. So maybe you're going on vacation, or your employee is going on vacation. They have a new dog and they need to find a dog sitter. So we are going to do that work on their behalf. We're going to find out when they're going on vacation, their budget, what kind of animal are they looking for in-home or boarding, and we will provide a vetted list of resources for them. So we have a huge staff of work-life consultants that does that, all that work, behind the scenes work on behalf of your employees. Any questions about our family, our home or convenience services? Okay, just checking the chat. But I think that Kelly will handle that. And then health and nutrition. So we're really here to support you as a whole person. KGA really takes the whole person into consideration. And we know your physical well-being is very much tied to your emotional and mental well-being. So we want to make sure that's supported as well. So examples of things that we can help with are healthy eating, weight management, high blood pressure, lactation concerns, even sleep issues. So maybe you've been newly diagnosed with diabetes and you want to talk to someone about putting together a new eating plan, or you have high blood pressure and you want to put together an eating plan that will suit your needs to help bring down that high blood pressure. We can put you in touch with a registered dietitian for that free 30-minute phone consultation. We also partner with certified lactation consultants and certified sleep coaches to help you with your sleeping needs. And sleep is one of those issues that we kind of all deal with, and we offer, you can use your sessions for your sleep coach. So when Megan Peavy talked about the sleep, the sessions prior, the EAP sessions, those 3 sessions, those can be used with a sleep coach, because we know that maybe one session isn't going to be quite enough to really help you figure out that sleeping issue. So we provide 3 sessions for the sleep. Just looking at the chat, does the work include possible? Does the work service include possible for HR legal issues?
No. So that's a great question. But no, we do not provide any employment related legal advice. So if somebody reaches out to us, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, or you slipped and fell at your work, we cannot provide any kind of legal advice around that. Typically what we do is we just say, I'd get in touch with your local bar association and we call it a day. And that also goes for your adult household members. So even though it might not be a client organization that we serve, we still can't provide that legal assistance.
That's a great point. Thank you. Yeah. And then just to reiterate how KGA works and our services, this is a little bit of a case scenario. Maria calls with concerns about her care for her mother with progressing dementia. Her mother lives in Ohio. She lives in New Hampshire and her mother lives in Ohio. So she reaches out to KGA. She doesn't know what to do. She needs some support and she's not sure where to turn. She calls KGA, and here are the support that we provide her. We provide her with that elder care consultant for 3 in-home referrals. So we put together a list of in-home referrals that suit her mother's needs in Cincinnati, so where her mother lives. We also provide Maria with a counselor herself, because she doesn't even realize how much grief and stress she's dealing with as she watches her mother progress with dementia. And so we recommend that she have that counseling, and she gets those 3 counseling sessions through KGA at no cost to her. And then we also put Maria in touch with an attorney in Ohio to help discuss the next steps for proxy care, to get that all taken care of and get assessed, as you know, she wants to make sure that that is taken care of before anything should happen. happen. So we put her in touch with that attorney. She gets that free consultation. And then afterwards, she can decide to move on if she'd like to hire that attorney for that free, for that 25% discount to put together the health proxy. So that's all just from one call that Maria made to us. All she did, well, she reached out because she knew that her mother was progressing with dementia. She wasn't sure where to turn and what to do next. And KGA was able to provide her with those 3 different steps to help with this particular situation. So it's not just a one solution fits all, and it's not just one solution. And we've come up with multiple solutions to make sure Maria is taken care of in multiple aspects of her life. And then we have our KGA platform, which we'll show you at the end of this. We'll show you around that platform. If you want to scan that, you can with your phone. That'll take you out to the platform, my.kgalifeservices.com. And we'll show you around how to get access to that. And then we also have the KGA mobile app. So if your employees wanted to access KGA on the go, we recommend that they download this mobile app, and then they can have access to KGA right on their phone wherever they should have internet service. So it makes it really seamless and easy. We also have different ways to get in touch with us. So we have our phone call that's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can call that 800 number and connect with a live person. We also have a way of scheduling an appointment. If your employees know maybe they have next week, they're going to have some time on their calendar and they'd like to make an appointment, we have a way to schedule that on the platform. And then during business hours, we have a way, some people just don't want to pick up the phone. That's a real barrier. And we're really trying to meet people where they're at. So we can even call them. All they do is go online and request a call back, and we'll give them a call back within an hour, our counselors, to touch base with them. So we're really trying to meet people where they're at, like I said, and have many different access points for getting in touch with KGA, because we know not everyone loves the phone. So we're really trying to not let that be a barrier to people reaching out to us.
Great. Thank you, Nicole. So any questions on family, home, and work? We're going to switch gears here for support for managers and supervisors. We just have a couple quick slides here, and then we're going to take you out to the platform and open the floor for more questions. All right. So what we do offer here at KGA as well is support for managers and supervisors. So if you have a manager, you are a manager, and you're reaching out to KGA, you have access to unlimited manager consultations. This means that you can pick up the phone, you can talk to one of our KGA counselors about an issue with an employee's well-being. This might be a behavioral issue, they're slurring their words, they have a lot of absenteeism at work, or they might be needing some return to work support. So it's somebody who just had a baby and they need some assistance. And also, of course, navigating any kind of conflict. This could be amongst a team, etc. So when you reach out to KGA, it's completely confidential. You talk to that counselor, they'll help coach you through that situations. So they'll help you determine how to approach those difficult conversations and how to work with that employee. And of course, looping in, I know you're all small organizations, but HR if need be. And we never try to follow any policies of your organization. We really do encourage you to get in touch with your organization to determine how they handle those situations. We're kind of just counseling, coaching, support in these situations. We also do offer managed and mandatory referrals. So if you do have an employee who is having performance issues or behavioral issues at work, and you want to make sure that they reach out for support and that they follow the suggested terms and conditions. So we will let you know, yes, they're complying. No, they are not, after a release of information is provided and signed. We also do offer manager learning on our platform. So we have a bunch of free training resources there. And we do find that a lot of managers use that for lunch and learns, and people get certificates after, and so on. We're also available for crisis response. So if you have a concern with an individual, like an employee death or a team that's affected by a difficult situation that has arisen nationally, locally, et cetera. And then we also, major events, things like COVID and all of that. So we can provide support around crisis response. We can help you with tools and tip sheets and language to address these situations with your employees. And we also can provide on-site support and or virtual support if needed. This is something that we're working out right now currently with the center on how to manage, but that is something that is potentially available. And we do have that 24/7 availability. We have a team-based response. So if there was a crisis need and you reach out to us and it is on, a holiday, so you reach out on Christmas, our after-hours service will contact our on-call counselor at KGA who will connect with you immediately. So that is something to keep in mind. And although we love Nicole, she's not your contact for these kind of situations. The 1-800 number would be the best way to connect. So we're going to take you out to the platform now and kind of show you around, but we have a lot of really great resources on here that range from everything that we've just talked about. So mental health support, family, home, and work, wellness, digital self-directed tools, and support for managers. So as I mentioned, we're going to share this slide deck with Kelly, who will disperse it. And this is the demo information. So you can use this to get onto our platform and poke around through a demo account to kind of give you that best experience. So we're going to take you out there. I'm going to stop sharing my screen while I pull up the platform. Any questions while I'm doing this?
Megan, while you're pulling it up, maybe I'll just address two things that have come up in the chat. One was around how long is the center and the foundation going to be sponsoring this? And as Kelly referenced, this is something that we're piloting. So we are committing to doing this for a year as long as it continues to work for KGA, the center, as well as the folks participating. In a year, if folks are finding that it is useful and we're seeing that folks are both using the system, we hope that we'll get feedback from folks who participate saying whether it's going well or not. And if this is a tool that has value for the folks who are using it, then we will continue it. And the Charitable Foundation is committed to funding it for at least 3 years. So that's the best I can give for a timeline answer. And I'd also just point everyone back, there are some great eligibility questions in the chat. Just a reminder, organizations located in or serving New Hampshire have 10 or fewer staff members, part-time and full-time. Beth asked a great question about kind of contract workers or workers who come in part-time, and we'll need to kind of clarify that exactly what it looks like, both from an employee standpoint for you and how that counts. And then the third eligibility requirement is just ensuring that as an organization, you actually don't already have access to an EAP service. If you are an organization that provides benefits to employees, it's worth checking out your contract with your health insurer. Sometimes EAP services are actually included in there. And so this is really meant for folks who don't have access to that service. And we'll throw the link in again. But Megan, back to you.
Thank you so much, Simon. It looks like there are some other questions regarding that coming through. So Kelly and Simon, if you could monitor those types of questions for us while we go through the platform, that would be great. So this is the platform, but I'm going to just show you all what it looks like when you're not logged in. So when you do come to the platform page, this is what you're going to see. And if you want some more information or you want to share anything with employees, we do have a 3-minute video that outlines kind of what we talked about today, just very, very condensed. So you can always rewatch this as a little refresher. But to get started, you're going to go here. And of course, when this is live, you opt in August 1st. You can type the Center for Nonprofits here. And then you can fill out your first name, last name, email, and whatever password you want. We encourage people to use their personal emails because of confidentiality purposes. We know people can be concerned about that. So we do ask that you use your personal if you prefer to. But I'm going to sign in right now under a demo account and poke around and show you. So when you are logged in through the center, you're going to see the logo at the top, and that will show you you're in the right place. Adult household members will use the same thing. So they will type in the Center for Nonprofits as well, with their own email, with their own password. Same kind of thing when people reach out to us. If you have a spouse who is contacting KGA, they would just say the organization that you work for under the center to access the benefit. So on this first page here, you're going to see 3 tabs. We have the emotional and mental health tile, family, home, and work, and managers and supervisors. So really what we just went through. If you go to emotional and mental health support, it'll give you some information and 5 top questions people usually ask us, but you can get started right online. So if you don't have the time to pick up the phone and call, or you don't want to, you can just go here and start filling out information on yourself, your concerns, and you can even schedule right with a counselor if you want to. We also do have down here calling us, scheduling an appointment. So if you know that you have a certain day off, you can click here, and it's a lot like Open Table. Of course, availability might be a little wonky around a holiday, but we do have some. So if you wanted to call on a Wednesday, or have somebody call you, I should say, you can schedule the time and they'll reach out to you. You're never having an expert like an attorney or a financial coach reaching out to you. It's always going to be somebody at KGA. So if you schedule time to speak with a KGA counselor is going to reach out to you. If we go to family, home, and work here, and you're scheduling a time to speak with someone regarding childcare or sleep, you're going to talk to one of our KGA work-life consultants first. But you can do that. And then you can also, as Nicole shared, ask us to call you. So you can fill out your information and we'll call you back within an hour. So that is available. But things like our live chat feature here, this is all responded to by live people at KGA. So there's no AI going on here. So if you do try to reach out to us on the 4th of July or something like that, if you were live then, it won't be an option. It will just say like, please call us. This is not monitored during this time. Additionally, what I was mentioning earlier, that My Dashboard feature, right here, this is where research lives. It also shows you who your case manager is and who the counselor you're working with is. Something that I really love about KGA, and I've been here for over 10 years now, is how small of an organization we really are. So when you reach out to us, being a small organization yourself, you're going to talk to the same person. You're going to have that case manager who will work with you through completion. And you can even call back and say, I really liked working with Tyson. Can I work with him again? Yes. If they're available, if they're not on vacation, yes. So that's something that I really appreciate about KGA. And as you can see here, the research that's been completed is all right here. So this is an example of the childcare search. And as you can see, it's very robust. We want to get as much information as we can to the employee so that they don't have to do that research. It's very daunting. Being a parent myself, I can understand that. Looks like we have quite a few chat messages going on. So Nicole, if you could just monitor that, if there's anything KGA related, that would be lovely. We also do have the service overview videos. As I was just showing you on that front page, we have that 3-minute video outlining KGA services. We have one for caregivers, managers, and substance misuse. So these are really great that you can just kind of download, share with your team via email, via chat, however it works for you. Under service options, it's going to outline all the ways that people can reach out for services, whether it is talking to a counselor or whether it's doing it on their own. So over here, this is where we do offer that peer support group information, and you can enroll right through here without calling KGA. We also do have the MindTide app. As I mentioned, that access token will live here. So you can come here or to the My Dashboard feature. There is a spot there for the access token, but you would click here and that will allow you to download it for free on the App Store and Google Play. Additionally, we have those self-screenings, as I mentioned, to take these assessments to see if you're at risk, completely anonymous, completely confidential. So the biggest takeaway from today, other than we're doing all the research for you, we make the match for counseling support. We have so many points of access, so many ways that we can offer mental health solutions, is getting employees, if you opt into this benefit, to become a member. It is so crucial that they do so because they have access to everything here at their fingertips. We have the KGA mobile app, which mimics our platform, but it's, not everybody, as I mentioned, wants to call for counseling support. Some people would rather just come on here and learn on their own. We have a DEIB library. We have resource library that's filled with articles, videos, webinars, etc. Our wellness calendar. This is something, as I mentioned, that once a month we have webinars, sometimes twice a month, depending on what it is. But these are free. You can register for these. If you aren't able to make them, then you can come back and watch the recording at any time. These live on our platform indefinitely, as you can see the past months button here. And then, of course, we do offer support for any kind of crisis that's taking place. So we put banners up. We have an accessibility widget that allows you to view this platform if you have a seizure disorder, ADHD, anything that's going to help you access this comfortably. That is our goal. And then additionally, we do have the ability to translate our platform into many different languages. And if there is a language that you need and you don't see it here, let us know and we will help you with that. So I want to leave a couple minutes here for questions, but I really encourage you all to go through this platform and see how we can help you, what's on there. There's so many things. I could spend a whole day going through it. But I think I can speak for Nicole as well. We really appreciate you all joining today and giving us the space and time to present KGA services to you. As I'm sure you can tell, we're very passionate about this organization, and we just want people to utilize it is really what it comes down to. Nicole, is there anything you wanted to share?
No, I just echo your sentiments about, yeah, we're really proud of this organization. So, and really thank you for your time today, your insightful questions, and appreciate it.
Yes, yes. So any additional questions or anything that we can clarify before we hop off and we get this PowerPoint deck over to Kelly?
I was trying to type away at some of the questions and didn't get to all of them, but there was a question about, can we participate if we're a fiscally sponsored organization? I can say that we will get back with an answer on that question. The intent of this is to provide these resources to small community-based groups. So I think that the short answer is we'll find a way to do it. And we're also, the center and the foundation will need to just chat and figure out how we answer that question on the eligibility requirements. I just want to share one other piece for folks who are thinking of participating. Something that I've learned from Megan and Nicole is that this only works if you remind employees regularly that it's available. And I can attest to that as an employee who has access to it through the foundation. There really need to be reminders sent out of like, remember, you have access to this, because it's really easy to forget. You saw the incredible range of services that KGA offered. And it's a good reminder to me of like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think I could call KGA for help with that. And yet I can. And so just a reminder that if you do participate and decide to, we're really asking folks to commit. We want to see how this goes. We're asking you to make sure that if you do decide to participate, you're going to be sharing it with staff. The center and KGA will be helping to provide resources so you can do that. And there are little templates that you can just send out. But this works. This really only works when staff are reminded, hey, it's here, you've got access, give it a try. So thanks, Megan and Nicole, so much for the great overview.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Kelly. Have a great day, everybody.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thanks for joining, everyone. Have a great week.